organize of this meeting. I'm really glad that we finally got to this point. That was not a simple way to arrange so many people to finally get to one place in one time, and we did it. So our conference, TMPA, full name is Software-Based Machine Learning and Complex Analysis, is starting now. And it's my pleasure to invite Roman Khomeriki, Dean of Faculty of Exact and Natural Sciences of Tbilisi State University, for welcome speech, please.
Thank you very much. First of all, I have to mention that it will not be a welcome speech. It's just some greeting to you, everybody, and it's just a pleasure for me to greet everybody and to introduce my faculty. It's very inhomogeneous faculty. It includes all the sciences and mathematics. And the Department of Computer Science is one of the leading, not one of the, but actually best meeting all the, it meets all the criteria of the education and education redirection to the job market and so on, because in all other disciplines we have a great leakage of the students or professors. So everybody goes to the West. So, and the computer science, it is the only department where the students come and students go to the job market of the Tbilisi, of the Georgia, and they contribute to the just all the disciplines of the science. And actually this is very one of the most challenging area of our investigations and our research and just learning of the students. And now I just want to express my gratitude and thank the main sponsor of this conference. It is Exactpro, and just wish you all the successful conference, and just enjoy the weather and enjoy the country, and just thank you very much for the invitation.
Yes, thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to invite Iosif Itkin, CEO and co-founder of Exactpro Systems. It's an industrial company who is key partner of our TMPA series. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for the introduction, Rostislav. My name is Iosif Itkin. I work in Exactpro. Exactpro is a software testing business focused on financial market infrastructures. We were founded 10 years ago, and we work with lots of large, sophisticated, mission-critical systems. That's why it is very important for us to constantly challenge the tools and methods that we apply to test software. And that is why we support Tools and Methods conference in the first place. And now, under a new name, TMPA is also remains a very interesting conference for us. Exactpro was part of the London Stock Exchange Group. Last year, we bought back the company, so now we are independent business and have more freedom to develop both our research and industrial program. Exactpro has clients all over the globe, from Australia to Canada, UK, South Africa, everywhere. Last year, we opened our first office in Tbilisi, and we are very happy by this very warm location, by people, their experience, and food, wine, everything. So Tbilisi is a perfect place for IT company to have an office. Also, this year, thanks to Nadia, CEO of Exactpro Georgia, we started ISTQB board in Georgia, country board, and implemented many other interesting things, including creating QA community Tbilisi that is a focal point of driving young people into software testing and test automation. We believe that software testing is relentless learning. It is not just pressing buttons, it is constantly researching, investigating things, and finding new ways to apply advanced software engineering techniques to the area. Automated testing is more like machine learning. Wow. So we have several test tools that require more data, and we constantly work on improving them. In our Tbilisi office, we have several software development engineers who help us to improve the tools. And these tools, of course, need additional data so we can apply more advanced machine learning techniques in order to find defects in software. Yes, as software testing is relentless learning, it means that automated testing is machine learning, and we are working very hard on building the next generation of software testing tools based on data processing, machine learning, process mining, etc. We participate in various research platforms. We investigate how to apply machine learning, how to work with blockchain platforms, with virtual assistants, etc. And I hope that TMPA conference will be useful for everyone interested in doing research or looking at practical applications of advanced software testing, process mining, complex process analysis techniques in the area. Thank you very much for attending the conference. Thank you.
I ask Joseph to leave this slide on because it has very nice structure, and you see on the top the history of our event. The first TMPA was in like 6 years ago. It was in Kostroma. It's a well famous, I would say, Nordic city in Russia. And then in 1 year we had next one, and then in 2015, we moved to St. Petersburg and and another event was in Moscow. And now we decided to cross the border of
Russia and move more on the south because weather and location is much, much better than winter in Moscow. So, and you may notice that the title of the conference also have changed. So initially it was called Tools and Methods for Program Analysis. The idea was probably to be more focused on topics like formal verification, techniques for testing tools, etc. But during these 6 years, it turned out that data science just entered all the fields, and topics like machine learning, process mining, they now like very important part of everything related to software testing and quality assurance. That's why we decided to slightly change the title while keep the same abbreviation. So it's again TMPA, but now T stands for software testing, M for machine learning, and PA for complex process analysis. So kind of rebranding. And yes, and you see that the list of topics is now slightly wider. It includes machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, and related fields. Questions, comments? Now I have a couple of practical information points. So first, I assume each of you got this piece of paper which is called program. Do you have it in your bags? Because if you don't, we can give you extra. Because probably it's the most important part of your package. Just raise your hand if you need one. We can provide you. So as you see today, we start after lunch, and we'll have 2 invited lectures just after the opening ceremony, then coffee break. Coffee break is downstairs. Okay, it's a quiz, but not that difficult. Just follow the your nose to find some food, or just try to find some arrows. So coffee break is downstairs, and then we continue with 3 contributed papers. And we are about to finish today at 6:30. And then it's not written here. Okay, assume it's written in white, but at 7, approximately it's 7, we will have a social event. So everyone is invited to the wine bar. You know, Georgia is very famous for its wine, and definitely we should taste it. Otherwise, your visit to Tbilisi would not be complete. So we'll provide you with more detailed information. I mean address and the pass after just later. But just be careful not to leave too early, so so that you don't miss our reception. Okay, and okay, today, so today is kind of half of working day. Tomorrow is probably the main day of the conference. We start at, okay, coffee break is 9:30, but the first lecture is 9:50, and work until the end of the day. And Saturday is more or less, typically on TMPA, we have the third day, so-called business day. So it's more focused on roundtables, discussion with industrial. We'll have some colleagues and friends from industry, from Georgian chapter of software testing qualification boards. We'll have a roundtable, and feel free just to join the discussion, because again, all our topics are practical, and to have all this feedback from industry is very important for our research. That's why we always try to have industrial, very strong industrial part in our meeting. So the next very important piece of paper looks like that. And it introduces 4 invited speakers for our conference. And it's really my pleasure that each one is here. So let me introduce Anna Kovali. She's here from Paris. Irina Lamazova from Moscow. Alexandr Gamprelidze from Tbilisi. He's here, and Vladimir Itsekson from St. Petersburg. Where is, Vladimir is here, yes. So I see quite many students here, that's why I probably ask some stupid question of you. Guys, what do you think is the main purpose of a research conference? Okay, besides having an option to travel to Tbilisi with a student travel grant, anything else? Just any idea? Why do we, organizing a conference is really a headache. It's not simple. It takes money, it takes time, it takes it's a lot of stress, but anyway, we are doing that. So probably there is some purpose. You knew the answer. Yes, especially in 21st century, because everything related to content you can find on the web, right? If you're interested to find some good definitions, good lecture, just go to YouTube, Coursera, or whatever, and you'll find this content, right? If you need just some knowledge, go to Wikipedia and download it and upload it to your brain, and you will get all the knowledge. But you should know that according to some studies, only 20% of human knowledge is formalized, not more. And everything else is so-called tacit knowledge, implicit. It's something which is in your emotions, in your feeling, in your understanding, which is not written in papers. And the only way to get access to this knowledge is networking. You get friends, you get new colleagues, and you start discussing some probably relevant stuff during coffee breaks and during wine, and finally you realize that you got some new ideas. So networking is probably the most important part of this event. So I really encourage you. It's okay if you miss some lecture, no problem, but there is no excuse to miss the coffee break. Because the main part of every conference is coffee break and social event. That's the place where you get new friends, new colleagues, new ideas, new contacts, etc. And it works always. Just maybe we still have maybe 10 minutes more, so I tell you for myself. I was just a student and was lucky to travel to Germany for a conference which was called probably Computer Science Logic, something like that. And there I met Yuri Gurevich, and we just had a couple of discussions. At the time, he was senior researcher at Microsoft. For me, it was like sky level, because I was just, ordinary PhD student, whatever. And in half a year, he just wrote me, Rostislav, you have an intern position for researcher. And that's it. So in 1 year, I realized myself at Redmond at Microsoft, just because I attended some conference, we had nice discussion. He realized that I'm quite motivated guy, and I realized that his topic is quite interesting, so I started to study. So it's much simpler than you think to really get into interesting project and to find new contacts. So priority number 1 is coffee break. Priority number 2 is social event, and also lectures, especially invited lectures. Please attend, you will find a lot of it. So the last point I would like to mention, yes, you're just in time. So it's my pleasure to introduce our organizing team. Can you please stand up, girls, boys? You see Lena, Lana, Natya. Okay, you'll no need to learn all the names. You can just grab this person and ask any question you have related to the organization, the accommodation, the whatever. And they really know good Georgian restaurants in Tbilisi. I just, that's really true. My yesterday evening was very successful in the term. So, what if you start 10 minutes earlier? Is it relevant for usually, because you know all the conference usually to be ahead of time is something strange for a research conference, no? So the last word to students, guys, really be active, ask questions, don't afraid to ask stupid questions, don't afraid to ask questions you think are irrelevant, because that's probably everyone who is more or less active speaker can confirm that usually the speaker has much more to tell you than on the slides. But he or she needs some trigger to tell you something more. And your question, whether it's relevant or irrelevant or stupid or not, it's a trigger. And because you really show your interest to the speaker, and that's really important for the both parts, and for speakers and for listeners. Okay, maybe some questions.